Everybody, Richard Art here, and my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all...
So welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm providing you a market update. We're going to look at some Chinese stocks, funnily enough, and also some Twitter information as well that you may not be exposed to, and it could be a bit of alpha. So going to go into that, starting here with a BTC update as well. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, like the video, it all really helps out. Numbers are slowly ticking up here, so all good signs. So starting off here with the BTC price action. Yesterday, just to follow up, we kind of marked off this line here, the blue, around $24,500 as a momentum pivot. You know, Bitcoin come up and tickled 25,200 yet again, the third try at this resistance. Hopefully it's starting to break down that resistance at this point and eat into the sell wall. But that momentum pivot would see us move lower. And that is actually what happened overnight. So you probably opened your portfolio this morning and had a little bit of a fright. Now mapped out here, a couple of key areas, 23,000 and around 800. You can see the wick here on the 20th of Feb, and then a couple wicks here overnight as well. And then just below, a further shift would be down to 23,000 and around 300 down here. So that is kind of the worst case scenario in the very short term here. But it looks like Bitcoin's starting to put in a little bit of a bounce here at around 24,000 bucks, going up to around 24,200. So as you can see from this, the previous strategy has been every time we've rejected from here, we've had a bit of a sell-off, 1, 2, and now 3. But each time we have rallied afterwards, and there's been quite a lot of gains to be made from getting long at the bottom of these. So the strategy still remains the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is my kind of way of thinking. But of course, try and keep some tight stop losses, have a kind of line in the sand. Say we were to break below this and start closing hourlies or 4 hourlies below here. Well, it's highly likely we see much worse downside targets at that point. But at this moment, it has been get long when we've had the dips. The dips have been getting a little bit shallower here. Hope we see bullish continuation and eventually a break of this 25K region. Not financial advice. You've got to make your own decisions in this market, but it's kind of my thinking here that we have been holding, but of course a bit of a sell-off. Now, if I ever need a bit of cheering up or a kick up the butt from a bull, just come to Michael Saylor's Twitter feed. Bitcoin is art, as an example. Bitcoin is also going to be requested by AI, apparently. AI is going to be starting to ask, where's Bitcoin? How do I get some? The Bitcoin strategy is always the winning strategy. And of course, Bitcoin is economic armor. So if in doubt, come to Saylor's page and get yourself a good dose of hopium. Market movers this week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, key data. Today, Wednesday, the 22nd of Feb. These are UK times here, 7 p.m. for me, FOMC meeting minutes. So this shouldn't provide any new alpha in terms of what happened because Jerome has been on the microphone a couple of times already. And we know what happened at the previous meeting, the 25 bips increase occurred. But maybe if there's some surprises in here, maybe a few members were arguing strongly for a 50 bips increase, well, that could provide a bit of a negative impact on the equities market and subsequently BTC as well. But I kind of think this might be a nothing burger today. Tomorrow, Thursday, USD, unemployment claims. We saw the jobs market was very strong last month. Let's see what the unemployment numbers post tomorrow. That will be 1:30 p.m. my time. However, Friday is more of the big mover there. So this is to do with the core PCE price index. The forecast here is 0.4%. Previously, it was 0.3%. So if this comes in 0.4% on the money, I think we're all good. If it comes in lower, that should see a bit of a rally for the markets. But if it comes in higher, that probably means there's an extra potentiality for a greater interest rate hike in the March Fed meeting. So Friday's data, I believe, is kind of the reason we've seen US equities selling off here and subsequently BTC having a bit of a rejection from 25 and, stalling out a little bit because market participants are actually worried that inflation is creeping up yet again. And this could be a telltale sign from Friday's data. So it's kind of like we priced in a bad number at this point. But if it does surprise positively for us, i.e. 0.4% or less ideally, then we could see a nice Friday, weekend kind of rally come to pass for crypto yet again. And it has had a nice bit of a rally over previous weekends also. In terms of Chinese stocks, this is just something I want to continue to monitor to see if it's either a meme or if it is legit. I'm seeing people post about the correlation between Chinese stocks and Bitcoin at this point, so do want to follow up on that. HSBC posted a strong quarterly result. Profits before tax for the final 3 months of the year came in at $5.2 billion, 108% above what it made in 2022. Pretty crazy stuff. The other Hang Seng constituents that will publish the results are Alibaba, one of the biggest companies in China, kind of like the Amazon or eBay of China. And then also down the bottom as well, we have Baidu. They've actually posted those today. So those are some key movers for the Hang Seng index. If you look at this over the last 6 months, however, this was the previous peak in August, around 20,000 and change. Then dipped down and has rallied since November, kind of when BTC bottomed is when this stock market in Asia also started to bottom and then rally. Top, similar time, come in, made a nice rally into January, a bit of a top there in January, similar to Bitcoin hitting 25K at the same time, and now a bit of a retrace. But this could be a support resistance flip at around 20,000 and small change. It's currently at 20,400. That peak was previously 20,200. So an SR flip is potentially on the cards with that. Alibaba Group, they post their results tomorrow, their earnings. That'll be interesting to see what those numbers are. And then Baidu actually did a $5 billion share buyback after reporting better than expected revenues today. I think that was after the Hang Seng had closed. So this could actually be a tailwind for positivity for the Hang Seng index. Just something I want to keep an eye on. Could be an absolute nothing burger, or there could be some correlation within this. BTC is the amber, and then the black is the Shanghai Composite Index. This is the one that TED Talks Macro posts about, trying to see if there is correlation between the crypto asset Bitcoin and obviously the Chinese-based stocks. So I will continue to monitor this on a weekly basis. I think day-to-day intraday moves and stuff on these various assets makes not a lot of sense, but if we can see some weekly correlation and hopefully a decoupling from the US stock market, that would really show us that the East is the driving force behind the market at this point and lesser the West. So moving on to a narrative that I think we will start to see really unfold. It's picking up a lot of traction on crypto Twitter right now. Posts like this, Pentoshi has started to actually buy bags of the RLB token, that is Rollbit, the online gambling, casino, and high leverage trading platform. You can see some of the P&L screenshots of individuals on here doing like 100x leverage trades. He says this Rollbit stuff is the most degen thing I've ever seen. Probably the only person in crypto Twitter not actually using it, but the RLB barrier of entry to buy the coin for the average person is a bit high currently. You have to buy it through a Solana-based DEX. However, he says, once it gets a SEX or centralized exchange listing, then I think it becomes seriously undervalued and we get more adoption of the token. I think the market cap, fully diluted at this moment in time, is around $160, $180 million only. And it's getting social proofed here on crypto Twitter. Look at this post, 275k views. And they've just taken on Gainsey, an absolute degenerate gambler here, who's putting like 100k bets down on random stuff here. Lost 200 grand sports betting on Rollbit yesterday, but got a 20k rebate. Apparently that's a good thing. I don't think you guys realize how huge of a deal the 10% rebate is. Has a fair point there. If you bet on a normal sports book, you ain't getting nothing back on your losers. So he says he made 106k in rebates so far, and he's now become an actual affiliate of Rollbit as well. He just keeps posting up all his degen trades. 500,000 views. So this is positive for the overall decentralized betting narrative that we talked about. And I do think there is legs still in that narrative, as you can see here. Just might take some time to play out. Then moving on, SYNAPSE has been listed on Binance as of today. SYNAPSE protocol is a layer 2. It's essentially first and foremost a bridging protocol, but it's also now a layer 2 in itself. And I think they've got some major updates to kind of release their own smart contract platform very soon as well. So this is going to merge from mainly a bridge to its own layer 2 environment, which of course bridges to all these other different chains and will make it a key hub for interoperabilities. So the SYN token has been doing very well as of late. Again, this one has been endorsed by Pentoshi recently, exposed to his followers, which made it pump like crazy. You can see a bit of a spike on the chart there. Binance listing $1.26 all the way up to around $1.76. And now a bit of a retrace. But if you look on the 14 days here, it's pretty much par for the course over the last like 4 or 5 days, but an interesting protocol nonetheless. But as you can see, this Binance listing having a big spike on the chart there is positive in general for like crypto-based sentiment and bid in the market. When you get the Binance listings pumping like crazy straight away like that, it shows you the apes are in charge or at least present, and that generally keeps me bullish in this market in terms of potential upward momentum from here. Then we have Yearn Finance, DeFi 1.0, absolute OG protocol. This one is now entering, as you can see from these images on screen, soon Mushroom Rainbow Pill. LSDs, liquid staking derivatives. So entering YETH here. As they say, introducing YETH, an LSD of LSDs. Get exposure to a basket of LSDs in one token, spread your risk, and get boosted yields. So what these guys have been doing is buying as much Curve protocol as they can, so CRV, and locking it for VE CRV. That gives them a large voting basis to direct Curve-based emissions, and they can direct them to their protocol now and their token, which will probably be the YETH one here, to ETH, that trading pair. So they can make their LSD very liquid for traders, and this could boost adoption of it. So that is Yearn, ticker YFI. I expect this one to potentially, off the back of this, get a bit of traction here and maybe start to pump. Not financial advice, just something that I think may well happen as a result of this. Then next up, a trust swap update here. The next trust swap LAUNCHPAD. Many people have been asking, what will it be? It's a new project that I've been working on, says Jeff Kadakis, for a little while. Combines the best of blockchain and AI to save you time and money. So it's going to be called PodFast. Essentially, this is using AI to break down large or long form video formats into very short. So he's saying 10 to 15 minute audio and visual highlights of, say, a 2 or 3 hour podcast. This, I think, is a very good gap in the market and also hits the AI narrative. If you think about it, personally, I'm always trying to consume as many podcasts as possible. You get in serious alpha from them. But I don't have enough time to listen to every Lex Fridman 3-hour podcast. But if they could be broken down into 10 or 15 minutes quick highlight reels, then I very much would be interested in utilizing something like this. This is being incubated directly by TrustSwap. The launch will be next month in March. He says we will not only work in tandem with the TrustSwap team as a launchpad, but also as a tool for asset and media creation and networking and more. So they're actually going to integrate PodFast into their stack. It will be a low, fully diluted valuation and zero vesting, i.e. all tokens will be unlocked from day one. So that is quite an interesting dynamic. And as you can see from this, there's also reflections. If you've been involved with any coin with these kind of taxes or reflections, this is where on each transfer of a token, typically a buy or a sell, a small percentage is deducted. So the fully diluted valuation of this one is going to be just under $2 million, and 2% from each transaction will be used as follows. 0.75% will go to token holders, i.e. if you just hodl in your wallet, you're going to get an updated balance via these reflections. So that's 37.5% of all reflections. Then 0.75% of that 2% goes directly to adding more protocol owned liquidity, and then 0.5% to the PodFast treasury. So really interesting stuff. This will be raised on the TrustSwap platform again. So you would need to buy some swap and start to stake it. They've also got a few introductory like demos of what they've done. So previously they actually utilized this to do one on a Lex Fridman and Michael Saylor podcast. And then Saylor actually retweeted this one and it got 302,000 views so far. So that was kind of the first outing of the tech there. And that is what it produced. It kind of looks like those, animation based drawings. And so I think this one could do rather well indeed. This is kind of an update here. Go and check out the thread. I'll leave it in the description down below. After the video I did the other day though, someone must have been watching with a fat stack of money because I posted the video and then that happened. And it certainly wasn't me. This one sent it up to like 33, 34 cents. Somebody must have bought a ton of swap after that video dropped. If the whale is in the room today, drop me a comment down below. Would love to know who you are. Bit of a retrace here, but I think this AI-based launchpad coming up next month could again stimulate this price, as many people are going to want to get involved with this. Zero vesting sounds like potential good upside for that one. Again, not financial advice. So we'll leave things off there with that 24-hour market update. Yet to see if Bitcoin can convincingly hold this low 24K region. Hopefully it does, and hopefully we can push towards 24.5. We'll provide another update as we see it tomorrow, but I do expect this week is potentially a choppy one going into that key data on Friday. I hope you have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.